Oh no, the banks are going up. Does that mean the trade is here to stay? Find out all on live trading, of course. Is the bank the best trade today? Is tech the best trade today? Is it healthcare? Is it oil? Find out right here on live trading. Let's get into the action.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
All right, let's get right to the trading action. We got Ryan, we got Zunaid in the house. You guys say what's up in the chat. I see you guys all out there. We're ready to go. Let's get to the action. I'm going to really quickly just bring up some charts that I was looking at, of course, on Sunday. Why? Because we were in the book club, of course. You guys out there that were a part of the book club, say what's up in the chat. We did a great show. We actually did a game show called Name That Pattern, where we were looking at real life examples of stocks on the daily chart that were showing patterns right now as of Friday. So if you guys want to join and learn, definitely check out the book club. We're getting into the next level, especially as we're going through this charting book. I mean, honestly, I think literally just that show on Sunday was probably the most valuable show I've done. And I've done over 1,000 streaming hours. That show right there was more valuable than anything I've ever done. And I'll tell you guys that out there because definitely I think the book club has the number one most value that we can give back to you. Why? Because it's straight knowledge that we're trying to pitch to you. So if you guys want to check that out, check out the book club as we keep pushing forward. I can show you guys some of those charts like Lulu, right? This is what? A bullish engulfing candle. I'll show you guys some more bullish charts. Costco, bullish engulfing candle, right? LMT, definitely one of my top watches today. I don't trade this stock often. Defensives seem to be an area where they're looking at right now. I'm going to be looking for Lockheed Martin to get that next up move today. You see that bullish engulfing candle from Friday. Let's see if we can take out the 480s, keep it going. And there's more. ITW, PSA, public storage. There's so much here, team. Definitely take a look at that. That's what we went over. And we also went over some different types of stocks, right? Like maybe like a hammer candle on DE, or maybe you're looking at MasterCard's hammer candle, right? This one looks a little bit more bullish down towards the bottom of the trend. Does this get the move back through 360? There's so much that we talk about there, and maybe even like a hanging man on Lockheed Martin. I'm sorry, that's not Lockheed Martin. GS here, a hanging man here. So will we see Goldman Sachs keep coming down and some of these banks kind of keep coming down? AZO showing more of that hanging man look, right? Near the top of the range, will this start to break AutoZone support right underneath it? Things like this, keep an eye on it, team. That's what we're trying to push for in the book club. Now I'll kick it to you guys on the SPY outlook today. I'm still short on some oil names just to give you guys the outlook of my swing trades. I got Chevron and Exxon Mobil. They are starting to go up a little bit, but I'm going to kick it to Ryan to take a look into the SPY action. And like always, you guys throw up in the chat what type of stocks you guys are looking at and what's on your radar.
All right. Well, thanks, Mitch, and congratulations on the book club. I'm sorry I'm always indisposed on Sunday. I do want to join one of those, however. Sounds like it's really popping. I would encourage Mitch's call to action to go ahead and check that out if you haven't already. But when we take a look at the SPY here, futures are up here this morning after the weekend. When I take a look at the SPY here, it looks like we're kind of going to run up to this down trend line. This trend line that I have here in green should provide some resistance. And the last time that we tested this trend line, we popped above a little bit, but we were rejected shy of that 403 area. We ended up coming back in to this 9-day moving average. I'll go ahead and fix these moving averages here in a sec. Let me go ahead and hide them. However, today, the thing that I'm looking for here is, do we actually fade, right? Again, futures up here, Dow's up about 230 points here this morning. SPY's up a little as well. I'm wondering, do we kind of roll over at some point? I wouldn't be shocked to see kind of a push out of the gate. We'll talk about Tesla here in a little bit. They had some price target re-ratings that is likely pushing that up here this morning. But I'd be looking for the overall market to kind of get heavy intraday and then roll back over to the lows. Again, probably because of my overall bearish sentiment, but that's kind of what I think is going to end up happening today. So looking at the SPY here, this kind of gives us some points for that. 400, probably going to be some pretty good resistance if we end up getting there. Now, let's go ahead and talk about some of the new plays here today. I see a couple of people talking about this stock in the chat, so we're going to go ahead and start with it. This is BLPH. This is Belafon Therapeutics. This got mentioned recently by several chatters. I believe, Carmen, you were probably one of the first ones in there. Now, one of the things that I'm looking at here, here's an intraday chart. Let me go out to the daily chart and I'll show you what I'm looking at. So daily chart here, real strong, right? We had a huge move up and now we're kind of consolidating in this area. So this is one of the things that I want to watch. As long as we really don't lose this 740, maybe we could even kind of extend that down closer to 7. Long as we stay in this leg, I'd actually be looking for another break above towards the highs here. So if we zoom in now and we go to a 15-minute chart, so a couple of the possible areas that we're going to watch are going to be right in here. Oops, I think I did that 1 cent too low. Yep, 810, and then I believe this next one is close to 820. Nope, much higher than that. Pardon me, 844. So this area right here, if we're able to take out this area between 810 and 844, I got to think that this goes higher, and I got to think we test 9, maybe even 10 in relatively short order. So I'm still nervous about holding new positions for a swing, especially things that are extended like this. There might be some type of offering or something of that nature, but this stock actually looks pretty good here for a potential move. Let's go ahead and put some downside targets in here. 750 is definitely going to be one of them, and then we'll go ahead and mark the bottom of this candle as well, 720. So this is kind of the area that we're looking at here. Again, what I'd really like to see is this sideways trading resolve to the upside. We'll have a couple of potential areas there. So shout out to you, chat, for being on this. I know, again, this actually goes back to last week, if I'm not mistaken, maybe even the week before that. Now, let's also look at the movers tool here real quick. Take a look here. As Mitch said in his opener, the banks are moving, and FRC definitely one of those here. First Republic Bank shares are trading higher in sympathy with Silicon Valley Bank after First Citizens announced it will purchase all loans and certain other assets of SVB. So FRC, again, this is not something that I feel good holding under any circumstances. Still a little weary of the banks, despite things seeming to the excitement, if you will, seeming to taper off. We'll see. FRC, actually, as we're talking here, FRC looks like it's going to try to set a new pre-market high. I have that pre-market high of about 1680 in here. So here goes FRC. Let's see if we pop above. This one likely to be wild, especially if the volume sticks around. So go ahead and watch this one here today. Signify Health. This one was actually, I believe this is a takeover, right? Yeah, Signify Health shares are trading higher after CVS Health said it expects to close the acquisition around March 29th. That's 2 days from now. SI, this is that crypto bank, Silvergate Capital. This gapping up here today. This day trade only, but we might actually have a break above 2 that might send it. Carnival reported earnings this morning, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it did. Looks like that popped here, got as high as 980, but really kind of came back in. We'll see if the cruise lines provide any opportunity here today. There were a couple of others on here. Tesla, one that we definitely want to take a look at. News here with Tesla. Citigroup maintained neutral and raised the price target to 192. Barclays reiterated their overweight rating, so they didn't change it. They're just reiterating it and maintains their 275 price target. So just about, 80 points above where we're at now. So this likely causing Tesla to trade up here this morning. Tesla's given us pretty good movement every single day to both sides. So this might be a potential day trader for you there today. I do see a number of the ETFs on here, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at those. Nothing else here that really stands out. Let me see. Oh, you know what? BXRX, I believe. Positive results. Here we go. Yep, this was one of the other ones. Sorry about that. Bodax Bio. Easy for me to say. Shares are trading higher after the company announced results from the second interim analysis of the phase 2 randomized trial. Remember, let this likely to send it. We'll see if this can actually break above here. One of the things we'd be looking at here is could be a 227 test. Let's see if we can get some action here on volume through that 2 handle and see where we end up settling. There was one more, I think. Was it BGRY? No, it wasn't that one. Sorry, I messed up my whole list here. PYXS. And actually, now that we're talking here, this is popping. Let's see what's going on here. So don't really have anything new in here, but notice that this was up here. Now we're popping on pretty good volume. Let's wait for this to settle. We'll do some technical analysis. Zunaid, what do you got for us this morning?
All right, let's go ahead and check. I saw some people in the chat saying, why am I looking up? So yeah, I've got a 4-monitor system, and one of them is up on top here. So I can, I went ahead and deposited some money to see if I wanted to play along and play some futures. So that's what I was just setting some alerts on. So I've got actually an order to purchase futures at, what is this? 4020.5 is right where VWAP is for me on Thinkorswim. So I've got 3 micros to go ahead and purchase there with a stop loss of about 6 or 7 points. Let's go ahead and take a look at the SPY here. We'll see if this area here at the moment wants to go ahead and hold on the SPY. I don't have the clearest picture, except, you know, if SPY wants to obviously test 400 once again, you can see we poked above. This is a 15-minute candles, 15-minute chart. You can see we poked above and then slammed right back down at the 402s. But it's been resistance. Tried to stay above, could not. Can't even test it a couple of days ago, and now I want to see if we can get over it. So for me, I'm not looking to necessarily go long unless we're above 400. But if you want to go ahead and play it a little bit closer to that or before that, you can try to get it if it can go ahead and cross 399, which would be the pre-market highs. If you want to play SPY short and see if we can get a little bit of a gap fill, you can play this one on a break of about 398 or so to the downside on SPY. I was taking a look while Ryan was talking. I don't necessarily have the greatest setups on the charts that I'm currently taking a look at, but nonetheless, we'll go over them together. We've got about a few minutes here, so let's take a look at them. On the Apple trade, I think you can maybe go ahead and find some support around this 159 area. If you want to go ahead and test that. But again, it's not the cleanest look. The only way I'd go short on Apple is going to be if it goes ahead and breaks this 158 area. So I'm going to go ahead and set an alert there. This one I'll keep it on, but again, it's not the greatest one. I want to see a break about the 158s. The Tesla, you guys, heard about the upgrade that Ron was going over. You've got that one kind of moving up a little bit. Again, nothing that I really, really like on this one, on Tesla. And maybe the 200 is the only way where I've been shorting it for a while, right? You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So this one doesn't really count. It never really got up there, but at least 3 out of the 4 times we've got a chance to short it at 200. So if it gets above 200, that's when it's all systems go to the long side for me on Tesla. But till then, it's just kind of in this range that I'm not really comfortable with. If you really try to force me to make a trade, I'd say maybe the 192 area could be an area of support. But again, it's not the cleanest thing for me at all. Let's go ahead and quickly take a look at AMD. If this one goes ahead and cracks 97, I'd be interested in a short. If it goes ahead and pops above 99, you can see if it wants to have a quick date with 100, and then we can see how it behaves there. But I'm going to go ahead and put an alert right above that and below 97 like we already have. Let's take a look at NVIDIA. I'm absolutely in the mood to short NVIDIA if we can break about this 264, 263.37 area to the downside on NVIDIA. If we go ahead and pop above this about 272 area, I'd like to play this one to the long side. So that's the range that I currently have on NVIDIA. Taking a look at Amazon, you've got the $100 right there. That's definitely going to be an area to keep an eye on. If you want to play it long, you got to wait for a pop above 100. You can see how well it held 1, 2, 3, and then it finally broke with the retest and smacked straight on down. And obviously, it's just a trend update on Amazon on Friday, but that's a $100 level test. You can keep an eye on that one. Another area for support could be 98. Right around here, but for now, it's the $100 that matters to me. Let's go ahead and take a look at Google. Google's coming up to the area that I have a support already drawn previously, which is about 104.50s. A lot of wicks there, so it's not the cleanest way to go, but definitely something to keep in mind. That if we do go ahead and break, matter of fact, I'll put it this way. If we go ahead and break this area of 104, I'd be interested in going short. So I'm going to move that. And there you go. Alerts are set on my end. So short 104 break. Long side for me is going to be about 106 break. So that's the range that I've got. That's set. There's the market right there. Just going to keep going through a couple of other tickers here on Coinbase. If you are interested in going long Coinbase, you got to wait for a break of 70 to the upside. And then that's the best way to go. If you're trying to go short, I think you got to wait till they break about 62.50s or so. That's the range that I have on that one. And on block, if it wants to go ahead and load up, we can talk about it. 3, 2, 1. Almost gave up on block there, just like a lot of investors did after the short report. But nonetheless, if you want to go long, got to wait for the break of 65 to the upside. Taking a look at the SPY now.
You know what happens when Zunaid is in the mood, as he said. Real quickly on block there. If we break above 63, that actually might get some juice there. So it looks like a rebound rally coming after the sell-off last week.
Don't worry, y'all. I'm turning my alerts off. There we go. But you do have Google crossing to the downside. So let's take a look on GOOGL. We're going to wait. We're not just going to try to pound it. Let's see if it actually goes ahead and holds a support or if it just crashes. Let's see. No position for me either way. Well, there's a crack. You can see it kind of buyers tried to help it. Couldn't. Let's see if they're able to bring it back up. But we're going to be patient. It's just only less than 2 minutes in.
All right, team. Let's do this.
COEP, possible move through the VWAP here. Pretty decent volume out of the open on COEP.
Do we trade RSI divergence strategies? I personally do not.
Try some here on COEP. Sorry.
You're good.
You're 185. This is kind of a risky trade here. I'm kind of front running a VWAP play here. 185. I'm taking it. We'll stop 175. Come on, pop through. Give me a win out of the gate here. Let's start this week off fun, folks. It started off fun.
All right, just want to let you know, guys, I did get, I'm out of my oil swings out on Chevron and ExxonMobil here. Do I think that oil could come down today? Yes, but I'm also going to get out of the swings and just take the money and run right now. Just took the money on both of them here out the gates as they're just a little bit higher than I wanted them to be opened up today. So just took the money and run. Of course, I've already taken about like 6% on Chevron before. So this added like 3%. That's 9% in 2 weeks on Chevron. I'm okay with just taking gains, right? I can't be mad about that I can't get my full 7%, right? Sometimes you got to know when the market's turning a little bit. We'll see what happens today. Out of those trades, so clear on trades right now. Time to get after it, boys. Let's see what we got. All right,
now load your plate up, Mitch.
Exactly.
Load it up like it's Thanksgiving, baby. Come on.
Team, I'm going to run through 5-day price trend with the market. So what does this mean? Stocks have been strong relative to the market for the last 5 days. So the leading stock is ENPH. That one is up already today. SEDG is one of those. Then you got the match stock, or sometimes I say the Mitch stock, depending if you guys love it or not. Then, of course, you got Carnival. They released their earnings so close to the bell here. So this could actually get them a nice little push here. It's pulling back. I don't know what you guys think, but I like it here. I'm looking at it.
Real quick, I'm short Boeing here, just 100 shares, stop loss of about 50 cents or so. And I'm going to look to make about 60, 70 cents on it simply just because it's approaching the $200. Let's see if it rejects or if it continues moving. It is relatively strong, which is why I didn't want to go in with more options. So it's just a quick little play for me. Let's see if it works out. You do have Coinbase that's coming down. I'm going to wait for at least a 5-minute candle to close and maybe test the retest and maybe have a stop loss above 67 on this one. So we're going to put up the 5-minute chart here. We'll wait for it to close. And then on the retest of about 66.41s or so is when we'll try to take this puppy short.
All right, you just got to test down below the 950s on Carnival. Now it's cracking below that now towards 940s. I'll look to see if it recovers 950s and maybe makes a move to 10. But of course, I'm not going too crazy on that one. The earnings were still at a loss, right? It's not making money. That's where it gets a little bit concerning for me. I like more of the other ones, but you can see how those are pulling back to RCL and others. What you got, Ryan?
Here we go on COEP. So it looked like it was going to shake me out. It's trading up here. I'm out at 2, but we might get a break above 2. Feels like it's got a 2 magnet in it.
Ollie making back some of the losses. Yeah, that's a nice little move mentioned in the chat. Just to kind of give the chat some shout out there.
Yeah, a nice little volume stick there. Volume looks good here. You can see this. Look at the size of this stick growing here. So come on, just give one more push up to 2, and we can call this a win right out of the gate.
One that is reversing today and looking strong out the gates here is Dish Network. Why is it reversing? I have no idea, but it's not a bad move here.
Oh my God, it did.
Comcast moving up also.
Took partial out. Come on, clear me out here.
On Coinbase, it won't let me short the shares or the equity, so I'm going to go ahead and purchase the $67 puts. Limit order is out for $4 if I get filled. Haven't purchased it yet. Limit order is out for $4. $67 puts expiring this week. And on Boeing, you can see I'm quite close to getting stopped out. Still in the trade, but about 20 cents away from being taken out.
All right. Pretty much everything out the gates. Yeah, everything out the gates green here. The only thing that's lagging, it's just slightly green, is technology. So that's interesting, right? We want to see what happens there. Healthcare really making a nice little upleaf. So I would definitely take a look at healthcare today. I'm taking a look at it. We'll see what happens if we can get some of these healthcare names. I talked about how some of these were already taken off, like Gilead, Amgen, Regeneron, VRTX. I'm looking for pullbacks in these stocks to try to get an opportunity. VRTX was nasty pullback, but already back up to 315. I'm going to look for one more pullback on that one, but VRTX, a nice looking stock here. IBB is another way that we can go about this. Of course, this is kind of more the ETF, right? If you want to go for more of the ETF, this looks interesting for me. If we can reverse back above 127 here, it'll be looking good. I like this pullback area, and then just kind of push through 127 on IBB.
You were up at least about 10 cents on Boeing just now. They don't ever say I didn't give you a winner. No, but that's obviously still in play. Right kind of a break-even point for me.
Deer actually, at least for the industrials, looks like a good short for me today. It does look like it's starting to break down. Daily candle has a nice candle to look for it to kind of get hit here. It was a hammer, but if it cracks through like kind of the 386 today, I think that one could be downside action continuation. Cat and Picard also on my radar. I think Picard is an interesting one if it starts getting hit. Financial services continuing higher, of course. Bank concerns seem to be shoring up right now, but how long will that last, right? That's the hard part about that trade. If you guys think that is going to happen, then the market could look pretty green today. We'll see. I feel like we've already ran way too much in pre-market, and we could start reversing here.
Yeah, you've got Apple here just within that range that we kind of spoke about earlier, but just had found support at 159.50s. If that one cracks and then a retest, I'd be interested in short on Apple.
Nvidia cracking down here, looking pretty weak here on the day to start. They didn't even make it back to VWAP here. Let's see if it cuts through the low of the intraday low. That's 266 kind of cut through. It's at 266.19 right now. On the intraday low, it looks like it's trying to cut through. I'll look to see if AMD is doing the same. Yeah, pretty weak moves there in the semiconductor names. So you could see a little bit of turnaround in those tech names. They have been really strong. There's nothing wrong with them pulling back maybe a day and then giving the next lift. So be careful out there, but those look interesting. So SOX could be in play. At least for intraday trades, I'll take a look at it. Marvell, that's actually red right now. Look to see if this kind of catches some green here. Major drug manufacturers, I talked about those this morning. I'm looking to see how those perform. Look at Merck's move out the gates here, almost a full %. Eli Lilly getting some lift there too. So I'm going to keep an eye on these names to see if they can continue their push. Pfizer's the weakest one at all of them from the major names. And biotech, I think, could start getting moving the bigger names. So this could also move some of these smaller names. What do I mean is that just keep your eyes on some of the biotech names. Of course, one of those runners could come out of nowhere, right? So this COEP is really close to $2 here. Just put a nice little candle here. I don't really trade these. I won't be going too crazy about these, but I know that you guys out there like to keep an eye on those.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Zunaid. I'm here. Come on, let's get the rest of this. I'm like 3/4 of the position out on COEP. It didn't fill the whole thing.
Oh, that's the one, right? I thought I'm sorry I
Way to
missed that
go.
you were in there,
Way to go,
Ryan.
Val.
But I think it's kind of interesting that I find that as one of the strong stocks in the market. And who's in it? Ryan Faloona's in it. My boy.
Identified. Hey man, we identified this together off the scanner. Remember, scanner's running on relative volume, so we're identifying where those transactions are going. 15-cent scalp right here out of the gate. Didn't
Proud of
go
you,
as
my
easy
friend.
as we had hoped, but just a little bit of pocket change. Got ourselves lunch here early. Let me check on the Squawk. A number of people in this chat here saying that Squawk wasn't working today. I actually have mine on for the new one. So real quick, just so you folks are aware, we're actually introducing a new
Here, let
Squawk
me
channel
put
called
full-
High Beta Squawk. So consider it a soft launch, consider it still in beta. We're testing it out here today, but give that a shot. Let me know if you like the call outs there. Let me check on the regular Squawk. I don't think Charlie is in today, but somebody else should be. So let me go ahead and play this one as well. And let me go ahead and check our logs. So just give me a sec, Mitch. I'm going to put up your screen and I'm going to see if we did Squawk anything here earlier today.
All right, while you're checking that out, I'm going to go ahead and talk about. So I did go ahead and get filled on the ES trade as it did touch VWAP, and so we are in with 3 MESs, so the micros at 40, 21, 25. I'm looking to take those gains at about 40, 30 or so. Stop loss for me is about 40, 15. Here's the Boeing trade. This one did come down at about 40 cents of profit. Unfortunately, I'm waiting for about 60 to 70 cents of profit. So still not out of this trade just yet. I need approximately about 3 more points on the MES. And we'll see. I wish I could put it up for y'all here on the Trade Station, but I've got it on Thinkorswim. Matter of fact, you know what? Let me do this. One moment. Let me make sure I hide my stuff there. That's good. There's the window. There's that. And whoop-ah.
Looking around.
There you go.
You go, my friend.
So there's a trade, like I said, the micros, I've got 3 of them, purchased them here when it touched VWAP. Now we're looking to get sold if I can get it around that. Let me go ahead and zoom in on this side. There we go. Looking to sell them at 40.2975. Just so I can lock in some gains, I am going to move my stop loss right above the entry price by 3. So now no matter what happens, I'll be locked in gains, but obviously I want to go ahead and sell them. I'm going to move this to about the 40.29s or so. Come on. Take my contracts.
Like Lulu coming back here.
Oh, it did.
Taking a look at Lulu today. Does have earnings coming up, so looking to see if maybe it drives into the earnings. Look for a move above 320s for a daily close above that. That would be looking good. So we're coming back to prior days resistance 315, trying to make it support here.
Real quick, on Coinbase, I did go ahead and purchase the $66 puts expiring this week. I paid $3.95 is my average price. When I switch back over to Trade Station, I will go ahead and show you all this. Just waiting for this trade to go ahead and execute. Come on, we need literally half a point. Can I just get half a point? Thank you. There we go. Sold on that side. Made $135 on 3 micros. So now we'll go ahead and switch over to the Coinbase side of things, and there is Coinbase, and there you can see went ahead and got filled on the $66 puts. $3.95 is my fill, and the reason we did get in these is because we told y'all I would go ahead and do it when it tested the 66.50s, and when it did, I went ahead and purchased them. Simple as that.
Really quick, did anyone else hear the Squawk? You folks that were saying that there were Squawk issues. Charlie is out today, so you haven't heard Charlie. But Bill from our news desk is squawking and has been doing so since 6 a.m. Eastern this morning. Just heard one come over the wire here. Heard it with no problem, not distorted at all. So let me know, folks, if you guys heard that.
Yep, looks like Walter's confirming it.
Excellent.
Appreciate y'all in the chat.
Thank you very much. All right, let's get back into it here.
Yep. So there's a SPY looking to make new highs. It is above VWAP. We'll see if that continues. I'm out of all my contracts. Usually what I like to do is if I have 3 contracts, I'll go ahead and sell 2 of them, and then I'll go ahead and hang on to 1 and see if we can get a bit of a runner. But I wanted to just go ahead and get the gains since I am just okay, I'm gonna go ahead and
You know which one I like here, team, and I'm going to look for a pullback to get in. This is Lab U today. So Biotech Bull here, looking for a pullback to 470. It's cheap right now, man. This has been on a huge decline as of late. So looking a little bit to see if some biotech swing action. GDX short. Okay. I could see gold pulling back today. I actually kind of like these pullbacks eventually, but I think they need to pull back a little bit further too. So can't blame you for looking at that short. For a pullback in Lab U, we'll look for a pullback towards the 469s, but we're already taking off a little bit. It's about 2% move already there.
what? Come on, Coinbase.
So I'm going to leave the squawk playing today, just on my end. So you might hear it through. For those of you that have Benzinga Pro, if it becomes too distracting because you're hearing it kind of doubled up, let me know and I'll go ahead and mute it. But I do kind of want to get some more feedback. You folks have been awesome with feedback already. I know not everyone has it, so I'm going to leave it on. Let me know if it gets too distracting and I can turn it off.
Sounds
right.
good.
I'll let you know if I hear one go through too.
I just heard it there. Okay.
All right, you've got Coinbase approaching VWAP. You do have the markets looking to make new highs. Matter of fact, I believe we did just make new highs.
Yeah, I think we just clicked it for a second. Yeah.
We sure did. Yep. Highs that I'm showing here are approximately 398.85.
Mixed signals so far. We have a nice little recovery candle on Microsoft. Let's see if that goes through the 281 on the high end and then 282 resistance above. Or do we reject right back down to the low? That's what I'm keeping a close eye on. These mega cap techs, I think, are going to be so important this week. If they can keep holding the rally, I think the rally can keep moving. Oracle having a good day. I just want to point out Oracle having a decent day for sure.
On the Boeing trade, I think this 200 is going to get cracked, especially if VWAP gets tested and it holds. This might be a gift for me to get out of break even, so I kind of want to get out of here. I'm going to go ahead and take it. Looks like I did get executed. Bought it back at 199.96. So I'm out of the Boeing trade simply because it held up a lot stronger than I expected it to. And I believe it's going to test VWAP and then go back up. So this is a gift in my eyes, but we'll see if hindsight has a different story for me. There's Coinbase. Hasn't quite gone down to the lows as I would like just yet. Again, I am in the $66 puts purchased at $395, currently down 3% on those contracts. Those are weeklies.
And Zunaid, just to clarify, your trade got executed, right? You personally are not going to get executed because that would really be a shame.
No, but it's just interesting you mentioned that because I've got some folks making noise outside my door. So if some folks saw me, take a look. Shit could get crazy, but no, thankfully, no, not me.
Speaking of shit getting crazy, did you have hail yesterday in Atlanta? I saw on Twitter a whole bunch of reports of like hail, golf ball sized hail in Atlanta. We got hail here in Chicago, but they were very, very small. So I figured I'd just check in and make sure. Glad you're okay.
I also didn't go outside yesterday. So.
Okay. But I mean, golf ball sized hail, you can hear when you're inside. So.
Yeah, no, I did not. Actually, no, I lied. I did go on a little walk, but nonetheless, no, nothing crazy on my side of town, but.
Guys, I'm trying to get a pullback here in Carnival. They did give decent guidance looking forward. So that's what I'm looking at right now to see if I can get some pullback entry on Carnival.
Yeah. Nellie's Treasure Trove, 60s in Chicago this week. Yeah, it's fitting that it's going to be 60s this week, the week that I'm traveling to Detroit, because I've been waiting for the golf course across the street to open. It opened on Saturday. And now the nice weather, I'm going to be out of town for the first week. So that's perfect timing there.
Well, hopefully you can enjoy some golf up in Detroit.
No, I'm not bringing my clubs. We're going to Detroit to work. But next weekend is a different story, Zunaid.
Shout out to Carmen. Yep. ATL.
Yeah, and Zunaid, there was another person here from Atlanta that said they didn't see any hail too, so it must have been an isolated area.
Probably. Or folks were just, hitting golf balls and thought it was hail. I don't know.
I saw pictures, so I mean, unless it was a deep fake, it seemed legit.
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
sure it was.
I'm going to look for a
let's
little
see.
pullback here in SOX to attempt a little bit of a kind of bottoming pattern here as we start to come down towards the 18. Multiple times we've touched it on the 1 minute. I want to let it test 18, even maybe wick there, 1796, and recover through 18 as we start to ramp back to the upside. But you got to keep it really tight, at least for my outlook. That's what I'm doing.
Nice call out on. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well,
I was
okay.
just
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say ARDX strong move out of the gate. Let's wait for a VWAP pullback. Zunaid, I'm so sorry, man.
No, it's all good. It's a part of the show. David, appreciate you calling it out. FRC dropping $15 is an area that I've been interested in the past, and lo and behold, $15 was kind of like the low in the pre-market. We are below that. If you are interested in shorting this, I don't know if this is going to be hard to borrow for me or not, but let's go ahead and see if it is. Yep, it is hard to borrow. Am I even going to get a chance to get and filled in this puppy? Oh, it's going to tell me I can't do it. Okay. So I probably have to go through the options route, but similar with Coinbase. If it does go ahead and test the 15, it could be an area to go short. We kind of grab some options at this point on Coinbase. And of course, if this pops up back above 67, we will go ahead and get out. I'm currently down 5% on my Coinbase puts. We do have also Amazon looking to break 99 and possibly test 100 as well. So keep an eye on those tickers.
I also noticed that while we were talking there, Square did go ahead and break that pre-market high that we talked about. So good setup there. Block, excuse me, I did it again, Zunaid. You called it the proper name this morning, but yeah, we broke that 62.91. If you take a look at this, actually, let me throw my chart up. This is one of the interesting things. Why we were calling this out. If you take a look at this pre-market high right in here, 62.91 or 92, whatever it is. We ended up testing that initially here and coming back in, but then we actually rammed through it. So it'll be interesting to see if this is now going to be looked at as support. And if so, maybe we can take the next slate higher here on Block. So nice little move here. This is, of course, after last week. Block had a tough week after that short report.
I missed that turn there, and CCL is back there towards the VWAP now. Going to see what happens to it, see if it can make a run to 10. CCL, kind of give that little bottoming look, then it's right back up there. They do have a call that's going on at 10 a.m. So look, I'm going to be looking around 10 a.m. to see if for some reason that takes off, right? I always think like intraday calls are kind of interesting because there's definitely probably algos listening in, trying to catch some of the talk.
There we
go.
go.
A little bit of hail confirmed.
Yep. So I'm not crazy. The pictures on the internet weren't lying. It was just isolated in different areas. Atlanta's pretty big too, so I wouldn't be surprised that there's different areas. But I'm sorry for your friend and her windshield. Hopefully that's all covered by insurance.
I was on a 14er and a 16er, and then what happened was we were actually caught by a hailstorm, like literally hiking. How's that one for you?
What's a 16er?
Yeah, I didn't. That could go many ways. Like I'm thinking like a truck.
14er, and so what it is 14,000 feet. There's about
an elevation.
Height. There's there's like I think there's a total of like 16 of them in Colorado, if I'm not to be mistaken. But there's some in Alaska, of course. And so it's just you're up in the clouds pretty much. And then imagine just getting hail on you you're like literally in the clouds already. So yeah, it was pretty tough.
An update for me on here. Let me go ahead and send Zoltan this. Here you go.
Walter knows that Colorado talk. 14,000 feet.
Coinbase new lows, as you can tell right there. Zoltan, if you're watching, we sent you the link. Coinbase contracts, the puts are up 13%. So feel free to do what you'd like on those.
I was talking too much. I'm a little frustrated. I was talking too much through that SOX S18. I'm looking for 18 pullback now. I wanted the reversal there at 18, but I was talking instead of watching. That happens, team. Now a little frustrated because I would be in SOX S at 18, and I can't get in it at other than 18 now. So it either has to pull back and give me an entry at 18, or I'm not going to get into it.
Appreciate the love, Sydney. Let me see what is so key is also. So let's take a look at key. Taking a look at what Voodoo is saying. And then you mentioned another ticker as well. HTB is no HBN. That's what it was. That's what I took a look at earlier. Yeah, you've got rejection from the 1150s. I think it's like 1150, 1142s or so. But FRC is probably the one that would still be interested in, just because it's a cleaner in my eyes. So if I lose, I kind of know that, hey, I didn't just guess. It was an educated guess, if you will. But I do think that if we can go ahead and test 15, 14 would be target number 1, and about 1350s would be target number 2. But it's kind of like, hey, there's good news coming at the moment. The stock is up 18%, so it doesn't make the most sense to go ahead and short it here. But I'm just playing it off of the $15 level. Let's go ahead and check in on Coinbase, as that did make new lows. Again, those contracts are up now 14%. I'm going to be greedy and probably not sell till we get around the 63, 64 area. So approximately $20. It's going to be 20% or so on the contracts is what I'm looking for in terms of gains. But yeah, hopefully you guys understood, more importantly, why I took the Coinbase trade and had your own game plan along with it.
Trying to get pullback, but I don't know if I'll get the pullback for success. We'll see if I do get the fill or not. Starting to see some things starting to go red, so let's talk a little bit about that. Utilities going in the red, communication services in the red, and real estate in the red. Everything else into the green. Energy just slightly into the green, so we could see that go to the red. Just going to keep an eye on it. Healthcare still leading. Any pullback in that lab U? Ooh, we just came back to VWAP. We just tapped it. Didn't get the 470 outlook, but seems interesting on a pullback.
I've got the
success entry there. Starter at least 18.
SPY futures testing VWAP. We played it on the long side last time. This time we are going to leave it alone, as Coinbase is looking to make new lows. We are now up 20% on those contracts.
Ooh.
22%. Let me see if I can close these puppies out. I don't want to send it at market, though. Let's see. Let's see if we can get out at $5, chat. That's what we're going to look to do. All right, orders out to sell at 5. Let me see if I can show you all that on orders. Yep, orders working. So you can see Coinbase 66 sell $5 limit order. Let's see if we get it. Currently, we're trading at about 475. We want a quota more, and we shall see if we get it.
Coin likely still down today because of the Wells notice that it received last week. I would imagine that that's just follow through. Getting asked there in the chat.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Wise coin. Yeah. It's currently at 485 on the bid, 5 on the ask. So come on. Now it's at 490 on the bid. Come on. Somebody just take all the contracts at 5. I see a bunch of contracts at 5. I see about 100 plus. So maybe it's not the greatest thing for me to wait, but all right, I'm just going to take it at 490 if I can. Hang on.
I have you back at 470s. Going to look to see if we can reverse around there. Hourly candle is down towards like 468.
All right, now we're looking to get rid of it at 490 if someone wants to take it. Anyone want to take it? Come on, 490.
Success still looking good here. 1820s now. Let's see if we can get to 1825s. I can sell a little bit through that and then look for the break towards 850s. 1850s. Why is coin down today? Yeah, it's still that same thing. All hail Z.
Huh? Oh.
All hail Z.
Clever play on words there.
Yep. I gotta find a way to here. Let me. See if that does it. Yep, there we go. So on the futures, on the SPY futures here, you can see on the MES had a bounce here the first time. This is where we played it to the long side. Not playing it this time, but you are getting a bounce once again. which does not help my Coinbase trade. As you can see, that small little spike doesn't help. I'm just going to go ahead and take these contracts. This is so annoying.
Coinbase trying to bounce here.
Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and sell it. Sell to close. Silly. Didn't plan it the best way, but I can tell you my fill once my... So I got filled at 464. Unfortunately, we were trying to get 95s, but we could not. Nonetheless, it's out. Maybe it does go ahead and break 64s and touches 63s, but nonetheless, we are out. The Widowmaker getting smacked as usual. What ticker are we talking about?
The Widowmaker, man. There's only one.
Nat gas, baby.
Gotcha.
I mean, I don't know if that's what he's referring to, but that's what I know the Widowmaker as, and it's getting smacked.
There's only one, man. There's only one Widowmaker here. That's the Boyle life, man.
The Boyle life.
Get boiled. All right, we're getting pullback here. We got up there towards about 1820s. Could have taken some profit there. I was looking for about 1825, so it's about 4 cents away from where I was looking to take original profits on Success. So we're going to look to see if we get back up towards these levels, but it is pulling back here towards around the 1803s. Got to be careful here with a cut down.
SI had a nice move. I saw that was up earlier. Yeah, nice little pop. Broke pre-market. Broke highs of Friday. Previous day highs. Can't talk today.
Yeah, nice little rip here on Silvergate. Really, it broke through 2, then kind of back tested that 2 level, then really kind of pushed off up here about 26 cents from that level.
And you can see the level on Amazon at the moment is approximately 99.25 that it's trying to get above.
Netflix, another good call. Netflix real strong out of the gate here.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of stocks strong. Let's just be honest. The SPY is on the bottom side, though, below the VWAP. Be careful out there.
If you're looking to go long Netflix, I think the closer you can get it to 332, the better. And that's where you had previous resistance. And that's also where VWAP is. So if you are looking to go long, that could be a bit of a better entry.
Looking to see if StockX can recover VWAP and then from there not break it.
PYXS really hasn't done anything since the open. Tried to bounce off of the 274 area. Didn't even quite get down there. Made it through VWAP, immediately got rejected. Let's see if we settle at any type of support level here. I've got a couple mapped out on PYXS. Didn't quite get down again to 261. Let's see if it ends up getting to one of these levels and curling. So far, no trade on this, though. Seems risky. Voodoo, good morning, my man. Nice to see you. Mitch, I'm seeing a lot of spinning tops, small bodies with large wick on both ends. Could be a violent whipsaw day today, caution day. So I am in the same boat as you, Voodoo. I didn't give that analysis earlier, but I am in the same day. I would be cautious here today. I'd be looking for the market to kind of roll over at some point.
That's why I'm in Success a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel like the probability is more for me towards downside in tech. But I mean, I'm just giving myself a shot here, right? And I think that that's the important thing. I'm not trying to risk too much early in the day. I'm just trying to see if all of a sudden we get this nasty turn here. But of course, like always, when you're ahead of that, your timing can be off, right? I definitely think I'm ahead of it a little bit, but that's okay as long as you understand that, right? So what does that mean for me is that if the stocks, let's say for Success, show me to get out I have to still get out, right? Because that could mean that it's not yet. I could be early. So I took their 18s, right? I talked about how I wanted to see that reversal come back through 18s. That's what we've gotten so far. It came back to 1802s. I'm looking for the rip through 1825s. If I don't get that and it comes back through 18, I'm just going to get out. I'll be willing to get back in the name. I'm not going to lose on it right now. I'm just giving it the shot for the rip. Let's see what happens.
Highs here today, so that looked like that worked after that bounce.
That's working. I always look at PayPal. Look how this is lagging behind it. If that's going to break through the highs, I always look for PayPal kind of following a little bit here. Look at Square, PayPal. Let's see if it follows through, right? If a little leader laggard type of trade. And so what that would mean is kind of like a trade maybe off these 74.30s coming back here towards the VWAP and 75. If Square can get ripping through the highs here, doesn't look too bad. Definitely Square looks good. But then again, if you look on the hourlies, there is still resistance around the 65s. So if you can get to there, you could run into some resistance. We'll find out. Going back to that success, looking to see if we can get that move to the 1825s or not. If not, I'll cut out of it and just continue to watch and try to save some powder today. Mitch learning from Triple D's relationship trading. Actually, Fadu, I actually already did that. And I think that that's why Triple D also kind of looks into what I kind of call out sometimes, because even he can miss certain moves, right? I look at a lot of, you see me call out a lot of sectors and industries. That's why. But have I learned stuff from Dennis on relationships? Yes, I would definitely say I have. But he's not the only one that relationship trades, right? And that's one thing that I think everybody can learn from, right? You guys can take a look at it. That's exactly how I get my edge a lot of the times. I'm looking for leader laggards type of trade. I know you guys in here have heard me talk about that plenty of times. Now, 819s. Can we get through the 1825s? I'll take some profits there and then look to continue working up on success. All right, putting the order out there right now for 1824s to see if I can just get a little pop fill into it. It's fighting here right around the resistance last time, 1821s. This is kind of 2-to-1 trade. That's why I'm trying to get slightly above that 2-to-1, almost to like 2.5-to-1. You guys know I'm more like a 3-to-1, 4-to-1 type of trader. So I'm trying to get there towards that first profit take. But if I'm too early to the trade, this could also be not the best, right? So that's why I'm also break even on the rest for the risk. And then it doesn't look too bad. It's just either profits or failure or break even here. So I'm okay with that outlook, especially early on in the market day. We'll see what happens in some other stocks. I can go to like a 6-chart outlook here to put up some other names for you guys to keep in watch out there. GE going higher there. Let's put on some other names. SPY tried through the low there, couldn't get through it. Microsoft, how's that? That's recovering to the upside now. So you could get some upside continuation. Another one that I'm keeping an eye on is NVIDIA. That's pushing a little bit higher. That might stop me out in success. Let's just be honest. So let's just keep watch on here. If it does cut back through the 18s, I'm out. Simple as that, right? I could just take this gain here, but that's not what I'm looking for right now. I'm looking for either the go or no go move. We'll find out what happens.
Still patiently waiting to see if the futures are going to fail at 40.20.
All right, we'll see what happens here. Hey guys, what do you think about you and which pattern you're seeing on the weekly? So Unity, we actually talked about that on the daily pattern. Mine was a little bit different than most, but we actually had that written down as a bearish engulfing pattern. So I'd be looking at bearish action today, at least based on the daily. And you look at it right there, it did have bearish open here. Now it's starting to come back and trying to recover 29. So we'll see if it recovers 29. That's Unity top left chart here. All right, let's keep it going. You guys smash the like. Let us know what you guys are looking at out there.
Coinbase did make new lows, but it kind of bounced a bit by 50 cents or so.
Coinbase.
What was the question here? Hey guys, what do you think about you, and which pattern do you see on the weekly basis? Is it a triple bottom or an ascending triangle? You want to take a look at you, and I'll take the next one.
I just kind of looked at it on a daily outlook there. On the weekly, you kind of see some bottoming action around that 27, that it keeps kind of getting a little bit higher lows. That's kind of a trend line that I'd definitely kind of draw and kind of keep an eye on. As you see this getting higher and higher beneath it, that's kind of some supply beneath that. But if we cut through like 25.86, that's where I'd really be concerned. That could continue the downside and even break through the 52-week low. So it's really on the kind of a make it or break it stage, I think, in that pattern, right? It's either going to cut through that downside or bounce, get back up there towards the 40. So I see why you're looking at it if you're bullish. If you're bearish, that's where it gets a little bit trouble, because how much further are you going to keep going down on this stock? And will that get a nasty short squeeze sooner or later? That's where I'd be a little bit careful on Unity. But like always, you guys choose your own investment advice.
The next one is
low, you're rejecting a little bit now. So just be careful on the SPY. It seems like there's stocks that are way stronger than the SPY is right now. Do you see that, Zunaid, at least?
I do.
I'm responding to a Slack, but Ryan's got it.
Netflix, for example, way stronger than the SPY. Even Square and Apple stronger than the SPY here.
That's interesting, right? To note, right? And I think that's one thing to keep an eye on today, to see if that pattern kind of changes. Another stock having a really good day, Catalent. That's a healthcare stock. CTLT having a really monstrous day. Fox is pushing higher. I don't know why Fox is pushing higher. I guess everyone's watching March Madness wants to trade Fox now. Netflix, Lilly showing up there, so that doesn't look too bad. How's that LabVIEW bounce? Ooh, it's just trying to get back above 470s now. Doesn't look too bad. The only thing with this one is that it's very small, right? LabVIEW, it's at 470, so I'd have to take a lot of shares and kind of keep the risk really tight. We'll see what happens on that one. LabVIEW doesn't look bad. It is reversing, but that's because I'm seeing a couple of names having a decent day today. Lilly having a decent day after a pullback below towards 325, now to 335.
Real quick, so COEP, while I was away there, COEP tried to break that 2 level again, really couldn't. I mean, I guess it did go above by 2 cents here, but really couldn't hold it, really couldn't push off here. Really the play through the VWAP or the curl play seemed to have worked. Now we've actually broke down beneath this support. I had this at 181, so broke beneath that. This looks like this might be over here. Let's see if this firms up again. If it can't retake that area and firm up, we'll just move on from this one here today. Trade was earlier.
All right, I'm going to let NVIDIA try one more time to get to 270s. If it fails on this attempt, I think we could crack down below 269 here. So looking for maybe a possible short on NVIDIA.
Jay was taking a look at you, said that your Coco, right? Ticker COCA. That is okay, so that's just a squawk here. Jay, you were saying Coco, trim some of my biggest small cap, huge winner. That's Vita Coco. Let's see if I can actually get the chart to work here. I don't know what's going on with my chart for Coco. I'll investigate that, but I encourage you all to pull that up in your broker here. Coco, just an absolute monster move. What was the entry trigger on that? I'm curious. I'll be honest. My mom loves coconut water, but I didn't think that anything my mom was really into was going to translate to potential stock gains. But here we are. So I'd like to know what the entry was there on that entry plan, if you will.
All right, starter on NVIDIA short here. Starter, going to let it bounce here and then look to add towards it. But the first thing is I'm going to let it try to come back to the resistance, try to break out. But if it fails there, I'm going to start adding into NVIDIA. And this should also help my SOX S trade kind of get through the 1825s. I'm actually going to hold it through there as we break through. It looks like right now 1822s. Boom, just took some profit there. Had the order out, hadn't canceled it, so it just smacked into it right now. So Stocks S starting to take off. I could add to NVIDIA here, but I want to let it bounce just slightly above towards like 269.40s here. Have more like swing trading size here, but looking for the reversal action now in NVIDIA as it rejected this 269 multiple times. Let's go to the Stocks S trade as that's starting to kind of really push here now. 1827s. This looks good. We just took some profits at 24. So now looking for the 35s and the 40s test. If we get to the 40s, I'll take some more profit and then have like the tiniest bit of runner. All right, just keeping an eye on to see the tech trade turns around. We could also take a look to see if the Qs just go red all of a sudden. That's another way to look at it. SQQQ is another way to play it. It's around the VWAP right now. I don't mind this outlook here. 15-minute has some bottoming action around 32. Now we seem to be holding around 32. So can we attempt to come back here on kind of this bearish pattern here through 32.25? Doesn't look too bad there on the SQQQ trade. So here about 32.05s or 32. I kind of like the outlook here, but like always, you guys choose your own investment advice. I might take another shot here in the SQQQs.
You've got FRC coming up to test the 15s possibly, currently trading at 1483s. I'm not going to go ahead and play this one, but calling it out because you didn't. Let me see what the options look like on this. Maybe I lied. FRC.
Yeah, I like that outlook here now.
Sell H, average
Where's
cost.
VCAT? All right, so 32.10s. I'm trying to grab SQQQs on pullbacks. I'll see if I can get it.
Yeah, I don't like it. You've got 20-cent spreads on a $2 options contract. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but.
All right, trying to get the SQQQs here on pullbacks. I have the order at 32.10s here. It did a nice little pullback right now. I'm going to go to the 1 so it could show you guys that. Didn't get all the way to the 32s, but it's back there towards 32.16. Why I like it is the 15-minute outlook here, really. If this candle can go green here, we'll be looking good for a nice little push to 32.35 here. NVIDIA going into green for me there, so it doesn't look too bad now, especially if it can just really crack through the lows. 266.50s. Look to see if we get a wipeout outlook there on NVIDIA. And then Stocks S, going to look for that to go higher there. Boom, nice little 38s here. We're going to sell a little bit into this move here. Let me go ahead and try to get some out. Boom, just got some out there at 36. Couldn't get 38s, but I took 36 there. Got a little bit of a runner left now for the push through this high of the day, 1842. And NVIDIA looking good now towards the 268. Could also take a look there towards the SQQQ trade that I was just talking about, 32.10s. But that just spiked there at 32.30s. Looking for some pullback action fill around the VWAP.
I'm short Google. Also looking to short NVIDIA, but at the moment I'm short Google off of the VWAP. Looking to crack above it. I'm hoping that it does not. Stop loss for me is going to be about 104.79s. And then taking also a look at the futures, they have cracked. Here, let me go ahead and go on that side. They are below VWAP. We'll see if they stay below VWAP or not. Matter of fact, maybe I'll go.
Can't blame you for that Google outlook. We'll see what happens there. Interesting stock that did definitely topped out there. Also seeing around Microsoft, I'd like to see it reject 281 there, but it already kind of did reject it once.
I'm going to have a little bit of fun here. I'm going to go ahead and short two micros at, what's my fill here? Come on, dang it. What was my fill? 40.19 on the dot. Let me see what my stop loss is going to be. I'm going to look to cover them at around, at the moment, I've got a bigger target of about 20 points. So 402s is what I've got at the moment.
All right, trying to look at NVIDIA to see if we're going to get a bounce off the VWAP here. Is it going to continue to the downside here? Qs haven't pulled back enough for me to get in there, the SQQQs. So just keeping an eye on to see what happens in the SPY here. Do we bounce or do we start to crack?
All right, my stop loss is going to be about 40.28, so about 10 points. And looking to get about 19 to 20 points on the downside.
SI, how's SI doing today? Oh, it's pushing, team. It's pushing. Keep your eyes on that one, you cheaper traders that like it. And it is pushing there. And I mean, it has a nice chart. Nice little push above the $2 today. Have you seen that one, Ryan, today?
I haven't. Sorry, I'm tied up with a side issue here.
You're good, my friend. I was just saying.
WISA that you just mentioned?
SI.
No, that was on the list earlier here. I called out the first move in that as well.
Yeah, I just think it's pretty interesting because, you know, some people can get lost in some other type of trades today and then kind of not even pay attention to this one, especially cheaper traders. One thing that I would take a look at is that above 2, now that you kind of recovered 2 today, I kind of like that outlook, right? I mean, look at this little trend line. You kind of broke back above here. You had multiple attempts to try to get towards that. You had this kind of breakout here, pulled back. It tried to break again, came back all the way to the support here, broke through that support, washed a lot of traders out, and then they recovered. So I'd be looking for pullbacks in that area. But as long as we can hold around $2, 195, it still looks pretty decent there on Silvergate Capital. And you never know. Another bank could come in and buy it, and all of a sudden you can get it some lift, right? So I have no idea what's going to happen with SI, but it's kind of speculation trade. But what's your downside risk on this stock, really? $2.36, right? And so at least that one's a little bit better in understanding the risk to reward. You have a little bit higher reward potential. I know I've talked bad about those smaller banks. This one doesn't seem too bad because at least it's about $2.30, no matter what, the risk to the downside. NVIDIA, what are you going to do for me here? I think it's a big level here. Do we come back through 269? If we come back through 269, I can just get out. I'm at 268.97. So I'm just going to give it the shot for the real breakdown here on NVIDIA, and that would cash us in through the high on SOX. So I'm looking at that for the continued move. Look at the 5-minute now. What is this candle? We just talked about it on the book club. The bullish engulfing candle, of course. So that looks nice for the upside continuation. And then if this candle closes green, what's another pattern that we'll have, team? Right here. I don't know if you guys know this one. We haven't talked about this one on the book club, but that would be the advancing white shoulders move where you get 3 green candles for that nice little continuation move. Let's see if we get it.
The futures are seeming to hold on to the VWAP.
The futures. What future though? You gotta tell them what future, my friend. Because if you just tell them the futures.
I have been. I missed on this time, but yeah, you've got the SPY futures I've been looking at all day.
The ES. So is that what you use?
The MES on my screen right
the
here.
MES. Okay, so because there's so many different ones. That's why, Zunaid, that's why I mentioned it, because you'll hear some people like use very different ones. That's why. Just for those future traders that are out there, right? I'm sure there's people that are actually maybe even trading futures right now.
Yeah, we're in the trade. We're short near this VWAP as we were hoping for a flush. We haven't quite gotten it. And our stop loss again, or as mentioned earlier, is about 40.2875.
Yeah, Lulu's pop did fade. It's down there towards 313. How are those oil names today? Ooh, they're hanging in by a thread. We did get a little bit of a pop up. I'm going to look to see if they get hit now.
By the way, if anyone hasn't watched or anyone is interested in a nice little show to watch or movie to watch, You People, I thought was pretty funny.
You People. All right, I'll check it out.
You People, I thought was pretty funny. By the way, on Roku, yeah, it is going up. You should face resistance at 66.75. Look left, you see once, twice, 3 times. It's had trouble getting over that. So if you're in Roku, keep in mind of that level right there.
Trip looks good for me here, team. I'm probably not going to be able to swing those oils right here, but the drip doesn't look too bad with the day trade action. NVIDIA is trying to push back here towards the 269 test, so I got to be aware of that.
Here's Amazon looking to pop above 99.25 one more time. VWAP holding on strong.
opening. Oh.
Come on, baby. Feel for me.
Oof. Chevron, Chevron, Chevron.
Take a small size here, anticipating a break of this 397.50s on the SPY. I'm going to refresh, so maybe it'll pop up because it's been acting up lately. And there's the short. Stop loss on this is going to be about 398.26. However, gains I'm not going to take till about 396.20s or so.
Starter short on Chevron for the swing. Got that at 156.49s. Of course, you guys heard me earlier in the day cover, take those gains, but I'm willing to get back in it after the price action today. Looks really bearish here. Taking the 156.49 there, willing to add towards 156.80s, and then going to hold towards 157.25s today. We'll see what happens there on Chevron. Also can go after some more oil names like ExxonMobil here. I also like that one. If I could get a little bit of a bounce, I'll start getting into short some of these oil names. I like the drip also for the day trade. Look at this action off the VWAP. Just was at 1640s. Now trying to get through the 1650s. Doesn't look too bad there, team.
I did go ahead and add one more contract to the MES trade on the future side of things on Thinkorswim. So now I am short 3 contracts with a stop loss. With a stop loss of about 40.2875, looking for targets in the $4,000 range. And of course, we are short the SPY here as well, as that one's coming down. And we are also short Google, which is pretty much at break even. So I wanted to get short. You're at short in NVIDIA. I wanted to go short AMD. That one's kind of cracking now. We'll wait to see if we can get a retest opportunity on this.
Yeah, SQQQs finally did go down towards that 3210s. I would have got a fill if I left my order out there, but I missed it on the pullback. It already bounced there back towards 3225s. SOXS is trying to get through the high right now, so I'm just letting that try to work up. You guys can see it here on the 1850 push. I'm going to sell the rest of that SOXS. That's a hell of a day trade for us, team. That's 18 entry, 50 to the upside. For this one that we risked about 10 cents, we'll take that all day. That's 5-1 on the top shares. We'll see what happens.
So in the chat, what's the question here? How to set up such stop loss and profit targets are yours. So I'm using TradingView. I'm connected to my broker TradeStation, and therefore you kind of click this little thingy and it tells you, hey, how much do you want to risk? How many points? What's the price? Yada, yada, yada. And it automatically kind of does it. Or you can drag this up and down, this, that, the other. But it's because I'm connected to TradeStation, who is my broker through TradingView. But yeah.
Just reminding in the chat, no all caps, please. No all caps, please. Easy way to get a timeout. Just reminding in the chat, no all caps. If you put caps for tickers, we got no problem with that. We just don't want to seem like we're yelling at people.
Yeah, there's the Google short working out now. We'll see if it goes ahead and breaks 104s. I'm going to go ahead and move this stop loss to about 104.53s now. Let's go ahead and check out on our SPY short. Was working better than it currently is, but nonetheless still in profit territory.
Let's
the 15-minute candle. The 15-minute candle closes in less than 2 minutes. Also, on my futures trade, here's what I've decided to do. Since I'm short 3 contracts, 2 of them I'm going to cover at about 40.11, which gives me approximately 9 points captured. And then the remaining 1 contract I will go ahead and take at around 4,000 to 4,002. So just a heads up, I did change my strategy on that. So wanted to communicate that to y'all as well. Less than 2 minutes till this 15-minute candle closes. Coinbase, I assume, is going to be making new lows, and my assumption would be correct. The target of 63 has been met. If you are still holding on to those contracts, I am not. I sold them a minute ago. They're currently going for about 550 a piece.
All right, focusing on NVIDIA to take some profits here. If we could break through the 267s going toward the 267.50 going to 267, somewhere in that area, I could take some profits and then look to hold the rest, break even. Look to take down this NVIDIA today. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I've noticed that different brokers may let you do different things because when I was doing some futures trading on another platform, it wouldn't let me change my stop loss like I'm used to. So I pulled my money out of that platform. So I think it might also be like a broker integration thing. I'm not quite sure, but that's a good call out. Hey guys, I know you focus on the SPY for market moves, but with tech playing such a big part, do you look at the NASDAQ? Yeah, so if I like the levels on the QQQs, I will, right? So for example, a while back, I liked the 3,000 or excuse me, the 300 level. So I would take a look at that to play a bounce from there. You can see I've got alerts set on when I want to short the Qs, which is at this break of about 306, 307 area. So yes, I definitely will. I'm sure the other guys do as well, just depending on what they're focusing on. But it's been a minute since I have, though. But I got my alert set just in case. Good question.
All right, looking for bounces to get short on Valero back to 30.50s and 131s. So pretty much I'm looking for anything in energy to swing short right now. But I want bounces, right? I hate going after like kind of the weakness already. But look at this Valero last 5-minute candles. Look at that. Tack, tack, tack. So I'm going to look to see if I can get about like half or 23% retracement here towards around, like say, like 130.80s, 131s. I really like the short on Valero, especially on the daily chart, rejection from the trend line, but we'll see if I'm able to grab it on pullbacks.
All right, on the Google, we went ahead and covered that short. That worked out very well for us. And by the way, it looks like our so let me go over Google. Google profit target met here, so we're good. We're out of that trade. That's profits. And let's go ahead and check out the MES futures. Our target has been met on that side as well. So 2 contracts have been covered. 1 remaining, looking to take profits at around 4,000.
This is what we call money, 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 money right here, because Zunaid and I are just stepping all over each other. Let's go. NVIDIA cashing in here. Nice. Just cashed in some NVIDIA there towards 267.26. So boom, boom. Was looking for the push into there. Just took half of it off there. This is a swing for the rest now, so I can hold break even on the rest. 268.67, and no matter what, we're in the green. Sox S there, guess what? Boom, baby, 1850s. Let's go, let's go. This is going to give us the new sound of the day. We did this one on our game show. You're a winner. Winner, winner, baby. Winner, winner. The price is right today.
Nice.
Bum, 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 ba-dum. Hey, taking it today. What's going on, Zunaid? How we looking now?
Things are looking well. The only position I have now, I believe, is my SPY. So let's go ahead and check in on the SPY here. I've got a couple of them, but the only one on TradeStation is the SPY trade. I'm looking to maybe get some more fills to make it 100 shares short on the SPY, but I need to retest about 397.50s if I can get it. If I can't get it, no worries. The 50 shares that I am currently short, I'll look to cover at 396.23. Stop loss is 398.26. On the future side, 2 of our 3 contracts have already been met because of this. So why did I want to go ahead and cover 2? Because look, you can see how early on in the day, and I'm talking 4 a.m., 5 a.m. when I'm snoring, you found support on the SPY futures at around 40.10, right? So I don't want this one to not end up being, or I don't want this to end up being support and my eventual target of 4,000 for not being ever met. So I wanted to cover 2, get the gains in, move my stop loss down a little bit as well. So now my stop loss has gone from about 40.30 to about 40.26 or so. So around this area is where my stop loss is on Thinker. Matter of fact, let me just see if I can show you all. I don't know why. Let me just switch. Do that. There we go. All right. So you can see here on my screen. So 2 contracts we covered, as you can see right here at 40.11 or so. You can see on the left-hand side. And now we've got 1 contract remaining, which I'm going to look to cover as a stop loss. Is going to be around this 40.25.75 area. And then target is eventually going to be 40.02, 4,002 is where I'm looking to get it. So let's see if we end up getting that whole flush or if it just kind of flanks right back. Nonetheless, though, we're locking in gains. And you can see on the future so far on the day, we're up about $250. And yes, this is a real live trading account. You can see the funds and all that stuff here as well.
That was a really nice move. Also in the SQQQs, look at that little takeoff and right off the VWAP. We were talking about that levels. Look how that recovered. Another bullish engulfing reversal today. We talked about these on the book club. Bullish engulfing reversal, pulled back, held the VWAP, and now taking off towards 32.45. Doesn't look too bad at all in that trade. And NVIDIA, we'll look to see if that can continue down. Anything above kind of that 280, the 268.50s, I don't want to see it back above VWAP. Just want to see it start pounding down. We can take some more profits if it keeps pounding through the lows. Let's say like 266 will be the next stop. If I can take some profits there, I'll let it keep going and going down. We'll see what happens today. Chevron also, oil trade to the downside. I did like my entry in this one, looking for pullbacks to add in oil trades, but we'll see what happens in that outlook. Drip that we talked about at 1640s. Nice little move back up towards the intraday kind of high on the closing 5-minute towards that 1664. Was a nice little VWAP bounce there. Hope somebody was able to capture some of those opportunities out there. Like always, we don't tell you guys what to trade. The only thing that we can do is show you guys our process approach. And remember, team, this isn't for financial advice, just for informational purposes only. And hosts and guests may maintain positions. The securities discussed. Let's get to the action, see what happens.
All right. So someone mentioned, by the way, awkward bathroom attendant guy. I appreciate you changing your name. I did notice that, and I wanted to say I appreciate that. On the Tesla, you do have it looking to come back down. If it does go ahead and crack this 194, I would be in. It could be interesting to go short. So you can see you've got resistance, finally pops up, had the retest when the market opens, flew up about $3 or so. Now you're getting a flank down. If it does go ahead and drop and the retest fails to move to the upside, could be an interesting short to see if you can get at least 193, if not much, much lower. But nonetheless, you can see that on the future side of things, you've got a crackdown once again. That 40-10 level has been broken, but will it continue to slide on down is going to be the question, as we still have one contract that we're short. There's 40.08, 40.09s printed as well. Let's go ahead and check out AMD. So this one I wanted to go short on AMD if it came closer to this about 96, 97 area, but unfortunately that retest never fully came. Slightly was there, and then it flushed down, made new lows. Coinbase went ahead and met that $36 target.
I'm finding it hard to take some swing trades. I'm looking at LMT for a swing trade, but man, it's just so expensive. It's hard for me to do it.
You've got FRC that did go ahead, like we said, test that 15, couldn't get above it, came right back down. There's $1. I wanted to short this, but unfortunately the shares were hard to borrow, and I didn't want to pay the spread on the option side. But nonetheless, happy to see that the thought process was working out well.
All right, team. I'm going to try something here with very limited sizing just because I've never traded this stock before, so I got to be careful when I do things like this. But I'm going to try some Lockheed Martin here on the long side. I know that's probably a little bit different than what you're seeing out there today, but I'm doing a defensive trade here. I'm taking my first entry right now at 417.13s off the offer. I just grabbed it. And now we'll see what happens. I can add at 473. Gonna hold here towards 470s. This is more of a daily outlook. We'll see if we get it back there towards 480s and then a little bit higher towards the 487, 490s. Just a different type of trade. I'm trying something out. We'll find out how it works.
Daniel talking about the cues and where you'd place your stop loss and things like that. One, again, I don't want to tell you what to do. I'll just tell you what I am seeing here on the chart. You're talking about a reversal. I'm not quite sure if you're seeing that as to the upside or to the downside, but here's how I see it. You've got, this is a daily chart, by the way, 307s is support. So you can see resistance here on this day, couldn't hold above it. Then you've got support that held here, support that held here, support that held here. So if you're looking to go short in this area, I think your profit target number one, or all of them, it's got to be around the 307, 307.50 area. That's one thing. Two, stop loss. If you are looking to go short, I would have mine if I was in this trade at around 314s or so. That means I'm not playing weeklies. I'm playing maybe 45, 2 months out, whatever this case may be on the put side. If you're looking to go long, I don't really see a good risk reward unless you're at the 307s and you're hoping that this holds. But besides that, don't necessarily see anything that I would like on the long side. If you forced me to tell you something, maybe the 310s has to go ahead and hold, which is about 50 cents away. I think the risk reward is better on the short side. But again, I am not taking this trade, nor am I telling you to take it. But I'm hoping to answer your question with as much insight.
I'm sorry.
Okay, it's all you. I'm done. It's all you.
Mitch's success trade working out here so well. Got sidetracked doing some support here, but that trade working out.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
TYXS still under the VWAP, but really kind of holding that 261. That actually might curl back towards the VWAP. We shall see.
I kind of like these pullbacks in biotech today. So like Gilead is on my radar right now. VRTX is on my radar. Regeneron on my radar. LabU is on my radar. Still holding to the sideways action there. So we'll see what happens today, but keeping an eye on these names.
We missed our target on the SPY by approximately, what is this low? 36 cents. We have it at 26 cents. We missed it by about 13 cents. That's okay. That's life. It happens. But we are still going to leave it. This is a 2-to-1 trade. Matter of fact, it's a little better than a 2-to-1 trade. We'll see if we can go ahead and capture that. The idea for me is that SPY is going to go ahead and close the gap, or fill the gap rather, excuse me. And it's going to test the previous close is what I was trying to say earlier. We'll see if that comes to fruition. Maybe it'll go ahead and retest this and then come back down, or it'll just come right back up and I'll lose 32 bucks. We will be okay nonetheless. No problem, Daniel. Yeah, I figured you were short, but just in case. Just in case.
Regeneron continuing. Woo. I'm looking
All
for
right.
that kind of pullback.
Here's Tesla testing what I believe is that support area of about 194, currently getting a bounce, which gives me further confirmation in my head at least that, hey, if this does go ahead and crack, could be a decent short. But again, it is up currently, 2% or so because of the upgrades and all that stuff. So it's not the ideal short, but I do like the fact that the 194 level is holding on as support.
Chevron new low in the intraday, so that's looking good. Glad I went right back after the oil trade. I've been taking profits and profits, team, so this is looking great here in Chevron going lower. Wasn't able to go on too many names, so what I did was I wanted to try one short name on oil, and then I was going to look for bounces to get short on some other names, like go after a basket, but it's already washing out, and when it washes out, I don't chase. I look for bounces. We'll see what happens.
151 looks to be your next downside spot there on ticker CVX, Mitch. At least
Thank
to my
you, bro.
eye.
Appreciate it. Appreciate the outlook, man. Just to let you guys know, it wasn't me. It wasn't me, team.
I was gonna say that's the wrong drop.
Shoot the deputy. We'll see what's going on out there, team. It's one of those days. Let's keep it going, team. Smash it up out there. And for my man Beans. Beans, you out there?
That's a
Ain't
classic.
nothing but a G thing today,
now
baby.
We vibing, Mitch. We vibing out here.
Yeah.
Love it.
Beans was telling me he was on the Snoop Dogg life. I was like, I got you, bro. We'll figure that out.
He's everywhere now. He has radio spots here in Chicago where they like spliced in some of his track. It's pretty funny.
Let's go, baby. Come on, NVIDIA. You want to make me some more money?
Oh, okay.
Time to work for me. I'm glad I'm out of the success though. Like I know I could continue riding these kind of intraday vehicles, but I look for like the pattern knockdown into the range, boom, nail it, get the hell out. This market has done me well when I've been doing that. When I'm looking for these super extension moves, that's when I get cut. That's why I swing with more extension moves and then day trade with more of that kind of range pattern right now.
You've got AMD retesting the 97, so I'm short here with 100 shares. The reason I'm a little iffy about it is because if VWAP was down here, I'd be a lot more confident, but this could easily go ahead and test VWAP, and that's why it's not the best risk-reward trade, or else I'd like to take at least 200 shares and then some contracts maybe, but we'll try it out, see what works here.
Rip looks interesting for another move higher if it wants to keep pushing, but that was a nice VWAP bounce there.
And of course, we are still short the SPY.
SPY.
As we're waiting for about
Why
another
you
30 as we're waiting for about another 30 cents on that one to go ahead and fill us.
Interesting reversal pattern on the daily ARWR, Arrowhead Pharmaceuticals, for those people that like biotechs. Interesting reversal pattern. We just had a bullish engulfing pattern up back towards resistance in 25. So we rejected that 25 move today. But by the end of the day, if we get through 25 and break that on the daily, it's going to be looking interesting there on ARWR.
Yep, and there goes Tesla cracking the 194 level that we talked about. Let's see if it can stay below or not on the 15-minute candle. We've got about 30 seconds left. Remove this yellow box to make it a little bit more clear about what I'm talking about. So resistance on the left, support at the market open, crack down below.
Cheap name that I'd keep on watch. I don't know why it was moving significantly on Friday, but not moving much here, but not also retracing as much as I thought. BCRX. Been trying to catch a little bit more of those actions, and at least to call them out for you guys. But that's an interesting one, and not moving much today and just holding the pullback to 1840s. Don't know why this one was moving on Friday, but I'm sure someone out there knows.
Which one?
BCRX.
Let me check that.
It's a biotech.
Yeah,
Cheaper name.
BioCris. That sounds familiar.
SPY, by the way, we got filled on the limit, so we made money on that trade.
Another one that I'd put on your radar from those cheaper names, I'm just trying to call them out, right? Daily charts for me stand out. And sometimes when they stand out for me, I'm probably not going to trade these, but hey, you guys choose your own outlook there. CDMO, nice sideways action on it. A lot of volume came in this name. Now it's going sideways, looking to maybe get back through 18 eventually on the daily candles. I'd be looking for that one to see if it gets hot eventually. But I like the hourly outlook on that one too.
Mitch, didn't see anything other than on Thursday, there was a conversion by the CEO who acquired 31,000 shares. That was posted on March 24th. But I'm not 100% certain that led to the nice day that it had on Friday. Basically, it just kind of traded up all day on Friday on fairly regular volume, just all buying volume.
Yeah, I think it's just more the industry-wide move in biotech starting to adjust into there. And so a lot of like kind of algorithms comes looking for this move too. I'd keep an eye on these moves. I think it could make a little uplift. And I'd also catch to see if there's any biotechs in like the ARKK that start getting moving. So just to call out names like that, I can see Path moving. I can see like Beam Therapeutics has been starting to get a move. I'm not saying that it's really ripping, but I'm just keeping an eye on these. Defensives leading now. A lot of things going into the red. Real estate, technology, financials, cyclicals, industrials. So a lot of lagging out there in the market right now. We'll look to see if we catch up as we are getting a little bit of a bounce here in the SPY around the 396.50 area. Now you got that kind of 5-minute bottom, the outlook there. Now you're starting to see that bounce. We'll see if we come back to VWAP. This might get me out of NVIDIA here, team, on the bounce, but we'll see what happens. I'll get out through 268.67s and look to see if we reject VWAP, but we come back up through 269. I'm not going to fight this move. Break even on the rest on NVIDIA. We've already taken profits. Lockheed Martin doesn't look too bad. I tried to add there at 473s. It went to 473.14, so no add there on Lockheed Martin, but I have a piece at least. Honeywell down today. Healthcare still in the green. That's one area that I'm going to be looking for moves now.
Stopped out of my AMD trade.
Drug manufacturers, specialty ones, getting a little lift today. CTLT is the one that's really strong in that area. Then some of the biotechs.
All right, I'm going to start heading out here.
Strong.
I'll see you guys tomorrow, chat. Mitch, Ryan, see y'all tomorrow. Happy trading.
I will be flying into the office.
Oh, that's right. You will be. Bye.
All right.
I got you, Mitch. Don't worry. I handled the issues from earlier, so I'm here for you.
No worries. No worries. We're good. Just wanted to get a recap, but Zunaid said, I'm out.
Yeah, he's just like, F this, I'm out.
Yeah. We'll get a recap next time, team. He said,
oh my gosh, those commercials are so annoying. I can't believe you just did that. Those commercials have been off TV and you just brought it back. You just brought it back.
Oh man. Let's see what happens, team. We're starting to get some reversal action here. I got out of that NVIDIA right there, break even on that push there, but you can see it just quickly came right back down. So could have just got stopped out of that just as it came back to the resistance on the trend line, and then we could reject it again. So it's okay. I could get back into the name, or I could go for kind of like a day trade action on success, but I need big pullback on that now. So I'm just playing the game, right? We'll see what happens. Chevron is bouncing, so I could get my attempt to short some of these oil names. So we'll see what happens if I can get a nice bounce in Valero and names like this. Don't mind the shot if I can bounce it back towards like 131 and then take a shot a little bit later in the day for these oil shorts. All right. That's pretty much my outlook for today. I'm looking around to see if there's anything else to kind of talk about. Defensive stores. Oh, man. I didn't get a chance to talk about Kroger's.
Well, tomorrow is a new day, Mitch, and it'll be just you and Zunaid. So if you want to just ride him the entire show about
Kroger, dude. You know what we got to do? We have to look when that day was. When was the first day that we started seeing Kroger's move? And how much it's moved since? It's probably like an 8% move.
Bro, this is the hill you're dying on. I have no idea.
Hey, 8% move is not too bad.
Not at all.
Too bad. I mean, especially in this market, I mean, take what you can get, right? This is one move that we were waiting for a long time. You guys remember I even played this one off the 33. It's starting to get the move now. The Sprouts pulled back here. Now starting to get a little bit of a lift today. And you guys know I've been talking, maybe taking a shot on the Casey's General Stores. Ooh, it's on the pullback here. Seems interesting for me. Casey's? I don't know. All right, let's go to Costco. How's Costco doing today? We talked about how that had a bullish engulfing candle. It's continued. Has pulled back here to 498. Are we going for a 500 run here? Ooh, I like the chart. Continue on some up action today. Walmart having a strong day too. So just to kind of bring that outlook. Target trying to recover here a little bit. Is this the area we want to be in today? Doesn't look too bad. Ollie taking a little bit higher after it got hit in the pre-market. So Costco through 500. $2 upside outlook for how much we got to risk on the downside here. If we could get it around the 75s, we could risk about 75 cents. But is that going to be enough for me? That's what we always got to consider, right? Risk to reward. Oil seems to be bouncing off the 50 MA on the 5-minute chart. What do you mean on oil? Or like oil stocks or WTI? Just to kind of so that I can get that outlook, right? One thing I'm keeping an eye on is if we could get back below 70s on crude oil today. That's the big thing for me. I've been calling it out on WTI. I'm looking to see if we can close back below 70s on oil. We need to get towards like the low 60s. If we can make a move to the low 60s, I feel like these oil stocks can really start breaking down and flushing out the bulls. You guys short on Mondelez? No, I'm definitely not short on Mondelez. That's actually having a good day today. That's the leading sector in the industries today. So like one thing that I try to do, team, and you don't have to do this, but a lot of the times when sectors are really strong, I don't want to be shorting those names unless it's like I'm already in these names like from a while back, right? So the strongest sector today is consumer defensive. Why would I not want to go short these names? Well, as simple as look at the industries. They're all up. There's only one that's slightly red, which is pharmaceutical retailers, but all the industries are up today from the open. Is that really where I want to go shorting? That's up to you guys to determine, right? But I'm just calling that out. That's why I don't take that opportunity too much. I'm sorry about my other light here. It looks like for some reason it went out and I didn't even notice it, but I'm fixing. Well, I have like 2 ring lights. One of them went out, but I don't know what the hell happened there. We'll see what happens in the market today, team. It's one of those days where I feel like we're getting a lot of chop. and the chop is starting to come back in. So just be careful out there, team. I do see a little bit of chop coming in here. Maybe we get a choppy afternoon and then a direction in the power hour. Okay, oil price about $1.50. Yeah, crude oil commodity. I look at like WTI. That's just what I use. But you guys can use CL, right? There's other ways to look at it, the futures. Netflix progress. Let's take a look at that. Netflix actually just bounced off of VWAP. So if you're looking for the SPY to make a reversal to the upside, that's a stock that stayed strong relative to everything in the market, right? This is one that can move. And I always talk about this. When Netflix moves, I look at Disney. So I like Disney off of the VWAP here, back towards 95.50s here. So I could take that shot there. I have no problem taking that outlook here. So let me at least see if I could get a little bit of a pullback below 95 here. And I'll take a shot here in Disney as Netflix. I'll look for Netflix to rise. So can I get a pullback to like 90s here? If I can get a pullback to 90s here, I'll take the shot. But Disney doesn't look too bad. And that's just going what? Leadered laggard style, right? And so if I see it go through the high 336.05, I could look to see if Disney tries to get through its intraday high, right? We'll see what happens. It just hit 94, 99. I haven't got enough pullback for me, but I'm just looking at it, team. We'll see what happens here.
Interesting looking stock here today, MFA, right? This was actually on the relative volume scanner. This is a real estate investment trust, and this is one that I believe is Barry Sternlicht is in on this one. So pretty decent daily chart here, to be honest. If we take a look at this, certainly looks like the bottom is put in. We might be curling back up. First target I would have here is about 1250 from 975. So MFA looking pretty decent. Take a look at an intraday chart here. Looks like we're actually trying to make new intraday highs on MFA. So this is definitely one to watch here. Maybe a potential swing.
Comcast curling higher and just stair stepping up. So if you're looking for a stock that's strong on the day and just stair stepping, Comcast is one of those. Looking around, even broadcast TV having a decent day. That's weird to see. You don't see that too often. F wonk. Fox even moving today. Fox Corporation. All right, other defensive stocks making moves. I'm just looking around like Coke, right? And this morning on we had KDP. KDP was one of the stocks given this morning by Tim Quast, Market Structure Edge, as a potential stock that could get some lift. Defensive name, right? There's KDP going a little bit higher. Healthcare names. Which one can I grab here? I'm looking for some here, as we are getting some pullback. Johnson & Johnson looks interesting here. Lilly. TFE even looks interesting. What I like about Pfizer is that at least I know my out, which is 40 below it.
Hey, buddy, did you wake up from your nap? Buddy slept all the way through the
going
show
a little
today.
bit higher. Yeah, he's enjoying it. Can't blame him.
All the way through the show today.
Can't blame him, man. These healthcare names, they look interesting for me. BRTX, is that starting to reverse there? Yeah, I like that reversal action off of the 311s. So I'm going to actually be trying to get VTRX on this pullback. Let me see if I can get 311.30s. This is a more expensive stock, so you got to be careful. Then definitely looking at this as more swing trade. All right, let's see if I get the pullback entry here off kind of just above just 311s.
Just here to
what you got, my friend?
Negative squawk on Bitcoin. Bitcoin moving to the lows here. So if you guys heard that one, that was actually from the new squawk here. And real quick, I just want to highlight something that Jay was saying.
NVIDIA getting washed on that.
Yeah, at pretty much anything that's going to have Bitcoin exposure likely to get hit on that. Jay was saying KDP has seen a lot of insider buying the last few months. Take a look at the screen here, going all the way back to the beginning of March. Jay's absolutely right. A lot of insider transactions here. Only one of them was a sell, from what I can see here. So lots of new insider stuff, including a new position here. Good shout, Jay. Good shout, Jay.
Trying to get short some of these tech names. I like NVIDIA there at the 268. It was just slightly below 268 right now. I hesitated at 267.90s team. Was going to reshort NVIDIA there at the 267.90s. Looking for a little bounce here back to 268, but I've seen the washout action in these tech names right now. I'm trying to get after it. I could kind of scout play on SOXS. That's going higher there. SQQQ is another way to play this. This is going higher. I am starting to see those kind of break, those tech names. So definitely seeing those kind of get hit here. Be careful out there with those names. Microsoft going lower. Google now trying to cut. Is Apple still strong? Ooh, that one's still hanging in there.
Softened.
Yeah, it can cut back through the open and then really start getting cut down. And you can see it right now as we speak, getting hit towards 159.75s. I'd like a little push to 160 there for Apple if I want to trade that one. But that's a really bullish chart to kind of trade to the downside. That's why I don't like that one too much. I like more rejections that we're continuing to see in NVIDIA today. Definitely nice little move there. I'll look for a pullback to 268 to get short on it. Look at NVIDIA go, man. That one just stopped me out. It went to 268.75s and like kind of 86s there, but I got out of the 70 on break even. So I'm looking for a little retracement on that. Did Valero get to my levels? No bounce in oil there for Valero. Chevron still hanging out through the lows. Exxon Mobil still didn't get back to VWAP. So I'm just keeping an eye on these names.
All right, Mitch, I'm going to get rolling here. I'm going to get back to my regular day. I am traveling to the office tomorrow. So again, I won't be there, but I look forward to joining you from the HQ on Wednesday. Try and have a good rest of your day. And remember what I said at the beginning here. One of the things I was looking for is the market rolling over. Right out of the open, we set that high, and we've really kind of softened across the board.
Yep.
Q, SPY, Dow. Now, we're not red yet, but let's see where we end up going here. So far, so good. I know it's early, but we'll keep that on watch. Mitch, take care of yourself, and I will see you soon.
You got it, my friend. We'll see what else is going on, team. I'll look to see if I can get some type of bounces, but it's been a good day today. I'm not going to complain at all, and I hope that you guys enjoyed all the action. More than 400, more than 500 of you guys tuning in, so definitely smash the like out there, team, if you guys enjoy some live trading action, and let us know if you guys want more action or you guys want to see some live events by live trading. We didn't get that much feedback on the last one. I know that a lot of people said that they would join the event in Orlando or something like that, but we need you guys to give the feedback. If not, the event won't happen. So I'll throw up my email here, mitch@benzinga.com. You guys can definitely join up. And I'm going to start wrapping it up, team. Smash it up out there. We'll see you guys a little bit later today. Of course, you guys can catch me a little bit later today on Start Swing Trading. That's my swing trading show. I'm going to throw up the link right now so that you guys can hit it, open it, hit the check mark, hit the notified so you guys get alerted when this go live. We'll talk about the swing trades that I'm looking at. I'm looking to take some more tech short. I got hit there on NVIDIA, got some good profits today, but wasn't able to hang on to the trade. Maybe it was a little picky, but you know I like to be break even on these. So I'm looking to see if I can tackle any more of these tech names on the downside turn, as they're definitely taking a hit right now. We'll see what happens out there. Smash the like, team. I'll see you guys a little bit later on Start Swing Trading, and we'll see. Am I still in Chevron? Got a little piece of VRTX on that pullback just to give you guys an outlook. I'll see you guys a little bit later today. Smash the like right here, Benzinga.